From the chilling depths of the Egyptian underworld to the fiery pits of Dante's Inferno, there are these concepts of what happens after we're done here. Every culture has its own twist on what the great beyond looks like, whether it's heaven, hell, reincarnation, or something else entirely. The variety of beliefs is mind-blowing. So let's delve into these scary yet fascinating places that you can only check out after you've punched your ticket. Hi, my name is AJ Spatola with Most Amazing, and these are the top 10 scariest places you can only visit beyond the grave. At number 10 is Tartarus. Tartarus, entwined with the fabric of Greek and Roman mythology, stands as the haunting domain reserved for those whose actions in life defy moral bounds. Often overshadowed by Hades, this realm actually goes deeper than that, serving as a harrowing pit where the condemned face retribution. Imagine a place beyond our world, darker than the ordinary afterlife, where sinners meet their fate. Here, within these formidable walls, the fiery river Phlegethon flows, guarded by a monstrous nine-headed hydra, and Tisiphone, an ever-watchful entity wielding a relentless whip. Tartarus isn't just a cell for any departed soul. It's a prison for titans and malevolent souls, a place of tailored punishment for their transgressions. One of these titans, guilty of heinous acts, suffers a punishment mirroring his crime, an eternal craving for sustenance and water just out of reach. Tartarus is a special landscape etched with torment, which echoes a justice system that resonates far beyond the moral realm, where the consequences mirror the depths of one's misdeeds. At number 9 is Niflheim. Niflheim, featured in the Norse and Germanic legends, isn't just your run-of-the-mill hell. This place isn't about fire and brimstone. Actually, on the contrary, it's an icy, frostbitten landscape ruled by hell, situated adjacent to the eerie shore of unalived people. Here you've got this colossal serpent, Nidhogg, I think, casually snacking on the departed. Among the 9 worlds in Norse mythology, Niflheim takes the crown for being the deepest and darkest, supposedly playing part in birthing our Earth when the freezing Niflheim mixed it up with the scorching Muspelheim. Muspelheim. I played God of War, I swear. Now Hel, Loki's daughter, has got a big promotion here. She's the boss of the unalived after getting the boot from Asgard. Her gig here is ensuring that souls are brought in by her messenger, Hermoder, ensuring an unending cycle of agony and suffering. If you're enjoying this video so far, you can support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing Top 10, and ringing that notification bell. At number 8 is Tuonela. In the ancient Finnish belief system, there existed this concept of an afterlife that was, well, not exactly the fiery pit or paradise we often imagine. Picture this. After kicking the bucket, you find yourself on the river Tuoni's shores, awaiting passage into Tuonela, the land of the unalived. It's not your typical heaven or hell. You see, Tuonela is more like a shadowy extension of life on Earth, just a bit gloomier. If it could even get that way. Now, what's interesting is that you had to come prepared for this journey. No ticket, no problem. Just pack your essentials, because in Tuonela, you had to fend for yourself. And get this, the departed souls could visit their relatives here. But hold your horses, because it's not just a leisurely Sunday visit. Crossing the river was like a high-stakes game, as it was infested with poisonous snakes. It wasn't a place of fiery torment or heavenly punishments. Rather, it seemed like an eternal continuation of a rather lackluster life. Bit mundane, don't you think? At number 7 is Gehenna. Gehenna is a name tied to a valley near Jerusalem, initially associated with some seriously grim history. Sacrifices and massive fires devoted to the god Moloch. It later morphed into something more ominous, representing the Hebrew idea of hell, a place where the wicked paid for their sins. This place isn't your average hell either. It's more vividly nightmarish. Picture this, a desolate, fiery landscapes where the flames keep burning insistently, fiery rain pouring from above. The heat here is 60 times hotter than any flame on Earth. The air is thick with noxious sulfuric flames, and the rivers of molten metal are just casually flowing around. It's the kind of spine-tingling spot you'd think is only real beyond the grave. At number 6 is Kasyrgan. In Mongolian shamanism, there exists this intriguing concept of what happens post-mortem, where Erkal Khan, the supposed prince of the underworld, acts as the judge. If your life has been a reel of bad deeds, Erkal sends you packing to Kasyrgan, which is like their version of the ultimate spooky place you wouldn't want to end up in. This spot is described as a vast cauldron, think a witch's brew, but far more sinister, filled to the brim with boiling black tar. It's a notion that the worst of the worst get submerged and, well, drown in this tar, while those who've managed a few good deeds in their lifetime find themselves rising to the surface. For them, it's a little shot at redemption, a chance to somehow make things right even in the afterlife. It's a surreal sort of cosmic trial, a test of your deeds in a bubbling cauldron. At number 5 is the House of Lies. In the world of afterlife beliefs, the Zoroastrian religion offers a spine-tingling journey. Imagine this, you've just passed away and suddenly you find yourself in the threshold of a China vat bridge. This bridge, thinner than a strand of hair but sharper than any blade, is your passage between the realms of the living and the unliving. But it's not just a leisurely stroll. Guarding this treacherous path is 2 four-eyed dogs, and they're not here for a friendly chat. Here's the deal. Your fate hinges on your life's deeds. Good deeds help tilt the scales in your favor, but if you've amassed a darker ledger, prepare for a chilling twist. The bridge can flip, plunging you into a bottomless pit teeming with demons. That's where Vizaresh, a sinister figure, emerges to snatch up your soul, dragging you down to the House of Lies, a Zoroastrian version of hell. The House of Lies, to put it bluntly, is your worst nightmare. The place is reeking of filth and despair, where you're force-fed spoiled food while enduring relentless torment for your earthly misdeeds. And the demons here, well, there's a horde of them, each specializing in a specific sin. There's Apaosha, the demon of drought and thirst, or Eureka, the master of poisons. All these dudes are here making sure you stay in the House of Lies, which is a harrowing place to be. At number 4 is Dante's Inferno. Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, especially the first part called Inferno, paints a vivid picture of a seriously hair-raising afterlife journey. Now, it's not exactly your typical haunted house setup. This isn't just a place you'd visit for a thrill. Dante's Inferno is a 9-circle deal, each circle meant for different kinds of wrongdoings. The punishment, let's just say, is pretty intense. The setup begins with Limbo, kind of a mellow place for non-Christian souls who didn't mess up but didn't get real from there. Then you've got specific sin circles. Lustful folk getting blown around by winds, gluttons chilling in gross slime, and the wrathful get stuck in a never-ending fight in a river. Then it gets worse from there, as heretics are in flaming tombs, and traitors with some seriously horrifying punishments, including some very gruesome visuals. The thing about this Inferno is that it's a mixed bag of punishments, each seemingly tailored to the sins committed. You'll find heads twisted backwards, demons whipping, fiery lakes, snake bites, and much, much more. And the cherry on top is that Satan himself is chilling at the very bottom of this pit, the deepest part of hell reserved for traitors, stacking on some historical figures and doomed to forever flap his wings, which actually makes this particular segment of hell ice cold. It's a vivid and haunting and seriously imaginative depiction of an afterlife you wouldn't want to find yourself in. At number 3 is Xibalba. In the intricate mythology of the Mayans lies a place more haunting than any realm in the living. Xibalba, an actual location believed to exist within the dark recesses of cave systems near Belize. It's the stuff nightmares are made of, a grim underworld where ghastly lords reign, inflicting unspeakable tortures upon the unfortunate souls who enter. Imagine demons accelerating the decomposition of the deceased into mere skeletons. And then there's some demons whose actions resemble the havoc-wreaking character from those of Allstate commercials, orchestrating fatal disasters within the home. But the horror doesn't stop there. Zik and Patan introduce some gruesome fates on the roads, inducing nightmare scenarios like bodily fluid projection or suffocation. The journey to Xibalba itself is a horrifying ordeal, as it's a treacherous path commencing by traversing rivers filled with red bodily fluids, scorpions, and pus. And just when you think it can't get worse, travelers encounter confounding paths and are forced into one of 6 sinister houses. The names alone, those being Dark House, Jaguar House, Razor House, Hot House, Bat House, and the Rattling or Cold House, sends shivers down your spine. The last, the Rattling House, is cloaked in a bone-chilling hail and freezing temperatures. This ain't no walk in the park. It's a maze of terror, a true test of endurance and fortitude. At number 2 is Duat from Egypt. Ancient Egypt's beliefs about the afterlife paint a picture that's both fascinating and terrifying. Enter Duat, ruled by Osiris, the deity of the deceased. The Book of Two Ways acts as a guide depicting a journey through this surreal realm. Imagine Earth, but twisted with lakes of fire and iron walls. Past the gates guarded by entities like the bodily fluid drinker who comes from the slaughterhouse, or the one who eats the excrement of his hindquarters. Great. But here's where it gets eerie. You see, your heart is weighed against a feather, and if you have a heavier heart, then a demon, a moot, devours it. The wicked face bizarre punishments like walking upside down or dealing with serpents and other devouring demons. Ancient Egyptians had a vivid imagination about what awaited beyond this life, both captivating and haunting. At number 1 is the Babylonian Underworld. In ancient Babylonian mythology, there's a tale about a spooky journey that begins once you finish here. It's like a haunted house on an other otherworldly scale. The myth goes that the departed must travel through 7 gates in the underworld, with each gate guarded by a sinister gatekeeper. And yet these gatekeepers supposedly need bribes, like a piece of clothing or jewelry, to let you pass. Could you imagine bartering in the afterlife? Once you've navigated these 7 gate trials, the underworld supposedly awaits. It's described as a place where everyone sports feathers and dines on dust in perpetual darkness. Feather fashion and dust meals for eternity? Yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares. Makes you really think about what might await us beyond this life. The thought of traversing through these eerie gates to forever feathered, dusty feasts is both eerie and intriguing. It's clear that humanity has conjured up a diverse range of destinations for the departed. Whether it's the Greek underworld or the Egyptian fields of reeds, or the Christian depiction of heaven and hell, these beliefs offer an intriguing glimpse into what might lie beyond. As always, if there's an underworld you think I've missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments. This has been AJ with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video. Later.